What's up guys, June here, and welcome back to episode 3 in the series where we're trying to unlock all of the boss titles, and let me just say it has been a very big week for several reasons. Some of these things don't have anything to do with the boss collection titles, but I finished a couple major goals I've been working on this week, and the first was finally getting 120 divination. I've been working on this one for well over a year doing caches, and though I'll continue going for 200 mil, it's nice to have this last milestone done. The other goal I completed has probably lost a lot of its luster because of the change to how you can acquire these items, but I did finish the Thinker robe set by getting the last item from the Motherlode Maw earlier this week. This was a far-fetched goal of mine from way back when the only way to acquire the gloves and boots was a 1 in 1,000 drop from Crystal Implings, which I never honestly expected to acquire. Based on what I've seen from myself and others, it looks like the gloves and boots are actually relatively common from the new mod drop table, but it's still kinda cool to have finally completed it. Moving on to actual relevant content, this week started off with me grinding out about 700 Linza KC at work without getting another item, but I abruptly quit Barrows when we got some unexpected, but also a little bit expected news on Reddit. Mod Ryan confirmed on several threads this week that based on player feedback as well as the recent change to the drop rate of Gloves of Passage from Magister, that the items from Linza are also going to be decreased in rarity. No specific number was given, but he said that we can expect the drop rate to be at least twice as likely as it is currently, and so I decided not to waste my time. I'll return to Barrows and finish off this collection title after that patch goes through. Quite a few people have asked me how I feel about this change, and honestly I have mixed feelings about it. It's quite obvious that Linza's items were too rare given how low in tier they are and how time consuming it is to kill her and actually acquire them. However, it's frustrating to see these kinds of changes wait so long to be made. Linza was added to Barrows with the Kindred Spirits quest in May of 2016, over a year and a half ago, and by the day of release there was player feedback on Reddit and amongst other places based on how ridiculous her HP was, the rarity of the items, and how useless they were in the scheme of combat at the time. It was obvious from the very beginning that these rates needed adjusting, however they persisted in-game for 17 months, and it took the addition of an entirely cosmetic title for the issue to actually be addressed. That level of inattentiveness to player feedback is frustrating, and it's amplified for me because of course it's the one thing that I decided to grind out for hundreds of hours that's being nerfed in rarity. I do still somewhat object to this change being made, because in general I do want to oppose retroactively making things more common after players have spent their time on them. However, I do recognize that this is one thing where the rate should have been changed from the very beginning. In any case, by this point I'm suffering some pretty severe Linza burnout, and so I decided to move on to the easiest boss title I had left, which were the Legions of the Order of Ascension. I already had all 6 pets from getting Insane Final Boss, and so I only needed a conventional signet from each of the Legions. The rate on these is only 1 in 50, and so I got the first 5 while I was at work and finished the last on stream early this weekend. In total, this took me 217 KC for a total Ascension Keystone cost of about 33.3 mil. This comes in quite a bit lower than the expected kill count of 300, and my profit reflects that. The loot comes out just shy of 60 mil, with 550 Crimson Charms, 350 Blue Charms, and 2 Crystal Triskelion fragments. Subtract out the Keystone costs, and that's about 26.5 mil profit in about 2 hours. Honestly, 13 mil an hour is not a bad profit rate, especially given how crazy the ranged or defense XP here is. However, I did come in quite a bit under the expected drop rate. This allows us to cross off our 6th completed boss collection log, and from here I decided I'm going to finish off the God Wars Dungeon 1 collections as a break before I continue moving on with one of the more difficult collections. The first of these, which I'm doing now, is Commander Ziliana, and even in only the few hours that I streamed this past weekend, we've already made quite a bit of progress. As per usual, I did already have the War preset unlocked here, although I have also been disassembling it for components since then, and I did have the pet as well from Insane Final Boss. The Godsword shards were already completed from doing Bandos, and I also got a few lucky drops just in the first few hours, and so we're down to requiring only 3 items for the title at this point. All we need now is 1 more amulet, a Saradomin sword, and an offhand Armadale crossbow, and I expect I should be able to finish this off within a few days and move on to Kriara and Krilsetzeroth. I am of course tracking all the loot for this now, and I'm feeling a bit ambitious, and so I'm trying to set myself the goal of getting all 3 of these God Wars Dungeon 1 titles done by the end of the week. We'll see whether or not the RNG is in my favor on that. So far, it's been pretty nice having a break from Linza, and this may be an auspicious turn of events anyway, because this video series was going to get pretty boring if every week's update video was going to be a, hey look, I killed 1500 Linza and not a damn thing happened. As usual, thanks to you guys for watching, and especially to my Patreon supporters. I hope you guys enjoyed this, wish me luck on boss drops, and I'll see you guys in the next video.